Hey ladies, do you ever feel like in Pilates, one week you're super strong and another week you're just wiped out? It's not because you're inconsistent. It's not because there's something weird and crazy about the class. It's actually what's going on in your body. It's the cycle that you have. And I want to dig into how you can use Pilates along with your cycle so you can get the best workouts for your body.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
Hi, I'm Lesley Logan, co-founder of OnlinePilatesClasses.com, and I've been doing Pilates since 2005, teaching since 2008, and I remember thinking, why is it that I can totally understand these exercises right now, and then other days just feeling like I had to push so hard to get the same results or get the same feelings? And I think that it's important to understand what is going on with your body, what makes things easier or harder at different times of your cycle, and then also how to be thinking about the Pilates practice that you're doing so that you actually continue to hit the amazing goals that you have and have a consistent practice that works for you. So let's dig into it. So what is cycle syncing? Simply put, it means adjusting the workouts you do based on your cycle. Yep. It's kind of simple, but also not. It requires you to understand where you are in your cycle. And I know for some women that can be tricky to learn where you're at. And so what I would say is really do take the time to figure out the dates of your cycle and track as best you can. If you are someone who has an irregular cycle and that's harder, another way to cycle sync is go with the actual moon cycle. Yep, the moon. I'll let you Google how that works. I'm not the scientist on that, but it absolutely helped me when my cycle was something that was a little irregular and hard for me to track. But when you work with your own body cycle and you're listening to your body, it actually allows you to give your body the rest and restoration that it needs so that you can get strong without burnout, without creating extra cortisol, without stressing your body. You'll notice less bloating and things like that when you're actually working within your cycle. Yeah, it does mean we have to kind of cover what's going to feel good to you, and you may have to go on a journey of what that is, and I highly encourage you to do it. But once you do, it's easier for you to listen to your body. So I want to talk about the different parts of your cycle and the workouts that might feel good to you to give it a try as you learn about your body and its needs. So during your period, days 1 through 5-ish of your cycle. I know some of you are a 3-dayer, lucky you. Some of you are going to be a little longer. I feel you. I see you have been there. And what you want to understand is that this might be when your energy is at its lowest. So shorter movement snacks might feel the best for cramping and things like that, just to kind of get the body moving. But it's also okay just to go and do light walks or focus on breath work at that time or some meditations, getting the nice rest that you need so that your body is ready to move when it's over. Other people, though, have found that because of the hormone shifts in the body from day 1 on in their period, they're ready to do a little bit more intensity. What I would recommend is making sure that you give yourself a few cycles to try out doing less and doing more so you understand when your body is feeling like it could do a bit more efforting in any movement practice, whether that be Pilates or weight training or running, so that you know when to dial it back if it's not feeling right. All right, if you are wanting a movement snack to try during days 1 through 5, and you're not an OPC member where you can hit play on anything and just stop when you're ready, you can check out this 15-minute mat workout. It's great for beginners. What I highly recommend is do what feels good to you, leave what feels not so great, and come back and compare yourself to yourself. Sometimes taking the same class at different parts of your cycle really allows you to understand when you are feeling more energized versus less. All right, so as the period ends and we continue on the follicular cycle, our energy is going to rise. And this is a great time to try out Pilates workouts that focus on flow, maybe even a little bit more advanced. It could even be a shorter, more intense class, or you can even combine it with some weight and strength training that you're doing. You can also do more combo workouts. I find during this part of my cycle, I can easily do Pilates and a weight training day and hit a zone 2. Just have a lot more energy. It's a great time to also try new things, try out new workouts. Your body has a little bit more ability to be new and be a beginner at something and take on a new challenge during during this time. So it's a great time to explore the horizon, what's out there, and find ways to even double stack some workouts if you're someone who's trying to get other movement modalities and you have other fitness goals. This is a great time in your cycle to do that. Always listen to your body. I would keep a little journal going on so you can understand how and when in the day is best for you to do these workouts. I find for me, I do a really strong weight training in the morning is more easily for me than in the evening when I have my high energy days, because I can go a lot harder when I'm more awake versus at night when I'm a little more tired. But you'll find out what's best for you. And that's the perfect part, because what's best for you might not be best for someone else, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it because you're listening to your body. Also, as we go through these high energy days, I really do want to challenge you to explore the transitional work in Pilates and getting exercises that go one to the next. Here's the cool thing, right? Some people, you'll research, it's like, oh, this is the best time to do an advanced classical mat or an advanced reformer. Yes. You can also do those on low energy days just by avoiding overhead exercises or the more intense rhythm exercises. You can actually juice out the exercise a little longer and take your time. But on these high energy days, it's like, why don't we do Joe's work in the rhythm that he wanted and the pace that he wanted? And so what I think is really fun is you can check out the mat class that I have on here. It's the original order. It takes 30 minutes. You're going to do over 34 exercises. So it's going to move really at a nice zesty pace. We also have the full reformer order from Joe on this channel. That one, you're getting over 79 exercises in 60 minutes, so it's gonna flow. And if you're really in that high energy, I highly recommend a combo. Do them back to back. You can choose whether you wanna do a mat first or reformer, but what's really nice on these high energy days is as you challenge your practice, you'll start to really see what you should be working on in the lower energy days. You can think of the low energy days as homework time for the exercise you struggle with in high energy time. All right, so then what goes up starts to slowly wind down as we get into the second part of our cycle. And this part of the cycle, from all the research I've done, the doctors I've talked to, progesterone doesn't like too much stress. What is working out? It stresses the body. So what we want to do is actually incorporate our workouts in a way that allows us to meet the needs that we have and our body has without scaring progesterone away. So what does that mean? First of all, Pilates is a given. You can absolutely do it. What you might find is that you're focusing more on precision rather than rhythm, right? You might be, instead of taking that 30-minute express advanced one-to chair class for athletes, you might actually be enjoying a more of a tower class that's for a more intermediate level where they're taking their time to understand the focus of an exercise rather than trying to get upside down. Now, I am someone who doesn't mind going upside down at any part of my cycle. Some people will find as they get to we go all the way back around to the period part of the cycle that they don't want to do upside down work. You might find that's not an issue, but as your energy levels go, you don't have that energy to do so. Some other things to consider is I still weight train when I am in this low energy days as my cycle starts to get towards the end. However, instead of me doing HIIT work with my trainer, with my weights, I actually focus on doing a heavier weight with a longer rest. And I keep the workouts a little bit shorter so that I'm not spiking cortisol too long. Another thing to consider in these low energy days is watching at what time of the day you're doing your workout. Again, not getting that cortisol too high right before bed, causing you to have a rough night's sleep when your body's already tired and needing more of that rest time. So you'll want to explore how do you take the workouts you're doing and make them more intentional, more focused, as opposed to high intensity. And if you do this with your cycle, you're going to find that you have a good amount of energy no matter where you are in it, and you're still reaching the goals that you have. So why syncing helps? It really does give us this permission to not be in an all or nothing mindset when it comes to our movement practice, our Pilates practice, or the goals that we have for our body. I think it is incredibly important as you cycle sync, you'll notice less of those dramatic, annoying symptoms as your cycle comes around. It's true. When I started to cycle sync, I had way less bloating, way less pressure in my chest, less breakouts, less irritability. It's not like a light switch. You're not going to have any of those things. It just makes it easier. So your cycle is not so disruptive in your life. You have less burnout, right? And you're going to notice that as you give yourself permission to, one, listen to your body. So in the days that you can do more, you do more. And the days you need less, you do less. You'll actually realize that you have more energy for everything. You have a lot more love for yourself and what you're doing. And here's the thing that I really believe about OPC and Pilates specifically, that I talk about at OPC, is it is brave and courageous to replace what you can't do yet with what you can. It is also brave and courageous to replace what your body is not needing in that moment, in that part of your cycle, with what it does. And when you are expecting your body to be the same every single day, you're going to find yourself super frustrated and disappointed. But when you are recognizing where you are in your cycle and giving yourself the standards around that, it really allows you to level up or level out what you need. And you'll find that you have a lot more grace for yourself. But in comparing yourself to yourself month over month versus day over after day, you will see your goals be met and your progress and your practice progress. You'll also notice it helps you in all things in your life, not just your workouts. Imagine, oh my goodness, how your life will be if you're being kinder to yourself outside of your workouts on those low energy days. And if you are wanting to know how best to set and hit your fitness goals, your Pilates goals, we have a really great video over here that will help you do that without burning out. And for those of you watching this whole thing going, Lesley, I wish this worked for me. My energy never matches what my schedule is. I understand. I am a woman over 40. Every day is a new day in this body, which is why I love Pilates so much. So here is the deal. Even if your cycle doesn't match cycle syncing, guess what? You're going to match your cycle syncing, because it's about awareness, listening to your body and giving it what it needs. And maybe that means you need to have some equipment at home, so on those days that you actually have more energy, you can take advantage of it. You're not hoping to get into a certain class or level or have a schedule that meets those needs. You could do it on your own in your own privacy of your home. Maybe that means having memberships or access to classes where you can switch from a high intensity class to a low intensity class, or working with a teacher that allows you to dial down where you don't feel you have to keep up with the group. For me personally, the workouts I do, I get to go at my own pace every single time. I could not handle having to go at someone else's pace, because I am always listening to my body and giving it what it needs. And so I want to give you that same permission. And I do believe that Pilates, true Pilates, when you're doing it correctly, is actually challenging you to practice that each and every time you do it, whether it's on the mat or other equipment. You're always listening to your body. Am I ready for more? Can I get more out of this exercise? Do I need to work on a little piece of homework over here on the foot corrector? And so I would say, even if your cycle syncing doesn't match what the science says your cycle should feel energy-wise, as long as you're listening to yourself and you're following that, you are cycle syncing for you. So here's the deal. Your Pilates practice should not be competing with you. It should be going along with you. It should be meeting you where you are. That's what Pilates really is each and every day. That's what Joe Pilates gave us. And so I really encourage you to find ways to listen to your body through your Pilates practice and find spaces that allow you to do that versus pushing through. You think you'll really, truly enjoy your Pilates practice more, and you'll learn so much more about your body, and it will take you to greater places and spaces. And I do know that you'll get stronger on the other side. And so if you are wanting a space where all bodies are welcome at any part of their energy levels, and we believe finishing is optional, and it's brave and courageous to replace what you can't do yet with something that you can do, I highly encourage you to come over to onlinepilatesclasses.com. We have an incredible membership that can roll with where your energy levels are. We have amazing teachers who also are listening to their body when they're filming, and they're doing only what's right for them, and that is there to guide you and remind you and inspire you to do those things as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. I will see you Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and hopefully in the OPC community. Have an amazing day.